Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Hello, everybody. Let's try this again. I apologize for the audio issues, so please let me know if you can't hear me again this time. I'm so sorry for wasting everybody's time there and, of course, not having audio. So hopefully we've gotten all of that worked out. Again, let me know in the comments if you can hear me or if you're having any issue hearing me. I, again, apologize for the audio issues that we had earlier. So thanks for tuning back in if you were watching earlier when you couldn't hear me. Hopefully now you're able to hear me. Of course, we are talking about severe weather. And there we go. Thank you, Hope, for letting me know that you can hear me. Great to hear that. All right, you guys, let's get back on track here. Of course, we were talking about the potential severe weather this afternoon. Of course, if you're watching, you're probably hearing some thunder. You might even be getting a storm where you are. Of course, we do want to jump into the radar. But before we get there, I do want to talk about the humidity. It's about as extreme as it gets in Maine today, not just your imagination. In fact, we're pushing up on records when it comes to humidity levels. So again, it's about as muggy as it can get out there in Maine. Our dew points in the mid 70s, even some upper 70s. That is beyond oppressive. Okay. So yeah, just about as humid as it can get out there right now. In terms of temperatures, even if you've gotten a storm, it's still feeling very warm and muggy. Feels like temperatures are just a bit brutal out there. 98 in Sanford, feels like 98 in Portsmouth, 94 in Freiburg. You're watching from Lewiston, Auburn. 89 is what it feels like there, 93 in the Augusta area. So yeah, we're all very, very warm. And again, we are also tracking those thunderstorms out there. So let's jump right in. Yes, I saw Cameron. Is it supposed to rain in Auburn? Dark clouds right now. Yes, I would say in the next 20 minutes or so, a storm will be rolling right through. You can see all the lightning that's producing if you follow my mouse cursor there. Nothing severe just yet. I do want to add that. But again, they are producing a lot of lightning. So if you've got family on a lake or outside right now, in Androscoggin County in the Lewiston area, just be aware that we are going to see that storm rolling through in the next few minutes. In Rockland, your storm threat is much lower there, Brianna. So some good news there. I don't think you're really going to get too much there in the Rockland area, but there could be some rumbles of thunder this evening. Definitely no severe threat in Rockland. So that's some good news. Jay, looks like a storm about to be heading your direction, Kayla. So definitely be prepared for that. Does not look severe at this point, but lots of lightning, thunder, very heavy rain, definitely likely with any of these storms that roll through. Again, we're talking about Florida levels of humidity. So think about that. These are going to be very, very tropical downpours here. So let's get a little bit of a closer look without the lightning so we can see where that heaviest storm cell is. Just now pushing towards the north of Lewiston. So Lewiston, you're going to miss the core of this storm, but northern Androscoggin County up towards Jay, Livermore Falls. We just got Kayla commenting from Jay. It looks like a storm is heading your way within the next 20 minutes or so, going to be rolling through here with some very heavy rain. Might even be some small hail with that as well. And then eventually potentially making it up towards the Augusta area. So that is also a possibility. Taylor, it does look like maybe that storm could reach you. And yes, Kayla, it does look like potentially another round towards the evening as the front itself moves on through. Hope is saying no rain yet in Gorham. Yeah, it looks like you're going to be in the clear there for a little bit. So no concerns down in the Gorham area. Again, no severe warnings just yet, but definitely lots of lightning, heavy rain, especially with this one storm that is now pushing into the Lewiston area and up towards Livermore Falls, Jay, that area there in northern Androscoggin County, heading up north of Lewiston, Route 4 corridor. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Again, that corridor about to get hit with a storm. So let's take a look at what we're expecting. The big picture here, we've got a severe thunderstorm watch in place until 8 p.m. Franklin, Oxford, Somerset counties, the Freiburg area, through the Oxford Hills, Andover, Weld, Rumford, Bethel, all included in this. Also up into the Jackman area, Rangeley, Carrabassett Valley, all included in this as well, and up towards Greenville, Skowhegan, Madison, Norridgewock, also all included in this severe thunderstorm watch. So again, that goes until 8 p.m. after that, the severe threat should really be tapering off. Once we lose that heat of the day, severe weather threat should really be winding on down as we get into the evening. So let's break down where that severe thunderstorm threat is highest. Again, where we were seeing that severe thunderstorm watch up in the mountains, that is where the threat is highest. So Route 2 corridor, Bethel, Rumford, Rangeley, Jackman, Carrabassett Valley, all mainly seeing that highest threat, but places like Lewiston, Augusta, out towards the Lakes region, Sebago Lake, Bridgeton, Naples, also all seeing that severe threat, including places like Sanford, through Freiburg as well, Windham, Gorham, Raymond, Naples. If I'm mentioning your town, there is the risk of some strong storms as we head towards the evening. It looks mainly like damaging winds. However, because of this tropical moisture, Carl's commenting, asking about flooding, does look like brief minor flooding could be a possibility. However, it's been really, really dry so far in July. So I don't think flooding is going to be a big issue. The ground has the ability to absorb all of that rainfall. So hopefully not going to deal with any flooding issues. Again, the storms are also moving pretty quickly, so that helps us out as well. Now, there's also a low end potential up in the mountains. So not for most of us, but again, up in the mountains, there is the potential for a brief spin up tornado. I don't think we're going to get, a dozen tornado warnings or anything like that. But any storm in the mountains will have the potential to maybe be spinning and maybe producing a brief spin up tornado there. So something to keep in mind. I think the biggest threat is damaging winds here, but couldn't completely rule out maybe a brief spin up there up in the higher terrain. So not for most of us. Again, this is mainly just up in the mountains for the tornado threat, although everybody in central or southern Maine has that risk of maybe seeing some very gusty winds with any storms that roll through. So let's talk damaging winds. Again, that threat exists for places like Augusta, Waterville, Jay, Livermore Falls, Lewiston, down through the Lakes region, Sebago Lake, Raymond, Naples, Bridgeton, Windham, Raymond. All of those spots do have that risk of some damaging winds. Sanford area as well, also included in this, also has that risk of some damaging winds. But again, that highest risk is going to be up into the mountains. That's where we've got the biggest threat of seeing damaging winds with any storms that develop. So let's talk about the afternoon planner here. Again, storms are likely any point from now through about 8 or 9 p.m. After about sunset, which is 8:19 today, things should really be quieting down. So I'm not expecting a lot of activity to persist into tonight. And for those hoping that I bring up the radar again, no worries. I will go back around and we will pull up that radar once again to break down the storms that we're actively seeing. But again, nothing severe at this point. Just seeing some regular old thunderstorms out there with some very heavy rain, plenty of lightning, and of course, plenty of thunder as well. So let's talk timing here. Here we are heading into the 4 o'clock hour. Again, scattered showers and storms will be around. Unlike what we saw earlier this week, these are not going to be as widespread. So there may be some areas that pretty much miss out on the worst of the weather. I think some areas will almost completely avoid any real thunderstorms. So again, it's not a complete everybody getting a storm kind of day, but if you do get a storm, it could be on the strong side. Now, as we get into the evening, we may see a secondary round. Somebody had asked about a secondary round of storms, and that is also a possibility as we get into the evening. You can see them developing here once again as we head towards the evening hours. And then everything wraps up as we get into tonight. And we are going to be looking beautiful on Friday. Absolutely perfect out there with the much lower humidity. Hope commenting, looking forward to the cooler weather. Yeah, today's humidity is disgusting, Hope. It will be much, much, much better. I can't even describe how much nicer tomorrow will be. It is going to be a beautiful one out there for our Friday, sunny and with low humidity. So watch our humidity trend here. Whoosh, we get rid of that humidity. Tomorrow is refreshing and dry. It's just going to be feeling amazing out there. Great forecast for our Friday. Great forecast for Saturday as well. The humidity remains very, very low as we head into the weekend. So let's take a look at our weekend forecast. Yeah, we are looking beautiful. Friday and Saturday, the picks of the week for sure. Right around 80 and sunny and very dry. Sunday does bring back the chance of some rain. Not expecting severe weather though on Sunday. All right, let's jump back into our severe weather potential here. I'm going to go back to our radar, what we're tracking right this moment as we speak here. And again, nothing severe at this point, but we do have that severe thunderstorm watch up in the mountains that goes until 8 p.m. And I know a lot of you are commenting saying you're hearing thunder or you got a thunderstorm. Yeah, you can see that storm there if you follow my mouse cursor just to the north of Lewiston, so up towards Jay, Livermore Falls area, Poland, Spring, Oxford Hills, all getting hit with this storm right now. And again, it's producing a lot of lightning, so something to keep in mind. However, not expecting this to be a severe storm as of right now. Also watching a storm that's just developed down in York County. So if you've got friends and family out on the lakes there near Sanford, maybe on the beaches at Old Orchard, yeah, we very well could see some thunder and lightning there. And Jeffrey says, you mean thunder? Yeah, you're right, Jeffrey. Thunder, definitely some of that out there as we are heading into this afternoon. Again, just to the north of Lewiston, that's where the strongest storm is right now. And that's where we'll continue to see the best chance for maybe some severe weather. Thunder in Sanford. Thanks, Allie, for the report. Yeah, it looks like a storm trying to roll on through in the Sanford area there. Now, here's a look at the radar without the lightning, so we can see where some of those heavier rains are. Red, of course, being the heaviest rainfall. You can even see a little bit of white popping up. There is the potential for some hail with these storms. Again, it's not a major threat, but there is a possibility that we do see some. And again, just north of Lewiston, the Route 4 corridor heading north from Lewiston, Auburn, yeah, you're about to get hit with a thunderstorm here. So if you live 10 miles north of Lewiston, yeah, we are going to be seeing that thunder. And Danny says clearing on Sebago Lake. Yep, that storm is done there now, Danny. However, another round of some showers or maybe a downpour heading your way. No lightning with that one at this point, but just keep that in mind. It may get a little wet once again as that system or that next round of showers moves into the Sebago Lake area. So again, not tracking anything severe at this point, but it does remain a possibility as we get into the evening through about 9 o'clock or so. So let's take a look at the big picture here. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch. This is mainly for the mountains and the foothills. Oxford, Franklin, Somerset counties all included in this. If you're watching from Oxford, you're under that watch. You're watching from Freiburg, you're under that. Bethel, Rumford. I know I had a couple of people commenting from Rumford. Samantha, yeah, there is the potential with any storm that rolls through today to potentially get some gusty winds and definitely some very heavy rain. And Brian's saying it's nice and sunny in Saco. Enjoy that for now, Brian. Looks like it stays that way for a bit, but a storm will likely arrive there as we get into the evening hours. And here's a look at our storm threat. Highest in the mountains. Again, a little lower towards central and southern Maine, but still going to see that risk for a thunderstorm that could have some gusty winds in the Lewiston area, Sebago Lake region, Augusta, Sanford, Leamington, Limerick, Freiburg area. Still could all see a storm. It's just a little bit lower of a potential than it is up in the mountains. Now, before I wrap things up here, again, as we're not seeing anything severe right now, so that's some good news, I do want to give us one last peek at the radar. Again, through about 8 p.m., this is when we're going to be seeing those storms. And Adriana says, what's going on for Biddeford? Looks like you're quiet for right now. A little storm cell down near Sanford's trying to move in your direction, but I think you'll be pretty quiet for a bit, maybe later this evening towards 7 o'clock or so. That's maybe when you've got a better chance at getting a thunderstorm. Jeffrey says, just got a storm in Norway with heavy rain. Yep, that storm. There's a Kabasi Conti Lake there in Norway. Yes, that storm just rolled on through. Should be clearing out for a bit, and maybe that lowers your potential for getting more storms later on today. So maybe a little bit of good news that you've already gotten your storm out of the way. And Linda's saying it's pouring buckets in Sanford. Yeah, we got a little storm right over Sanford right now. So yeah, expect that maybe for 10 more minutes, and then probably sunshine returning again. We're in a Florida atmosphere. That's Florida weather. Storm, then right back to sunshine and heat and humidity. And we'll leave it with this. Liana says, we could use the rain. Yeah, we really could, you guys. We've gotten less than an inch of rain so far this month, so we really could use a good soaking in much of the state. So again, lots of lightning with these storms. Definitely keep in mind that these will be producing a lot of lightning, very heavy rainfall as well. Again, nothing severe at this point, but of course we'll be jumping live on the air. We'll be jumping back in here on Facebook Live as well as we head towards this evening. So again, we will be tracking these storms for you all evening long. So thanks everybody for joining in. Again, nothing severe right now. Storms should be out of here by about 8 p.m. or so. Tomorrow, you're going to love tomorrow's forecast. Low humidity, sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day for our Friday. So, tomorrow's Friday for our Friday tomorrow. So looking great for that. So again, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. And stay safe out there. And remember, when thunder roars, time to head indoors.
This has been live interactive Weather Authority coverage from CBS 13 and Fox 23. Make sure to stay connected with CBS 13 and Fox 23 on air, online, and through these social channels. Thank you for watching.